Johannesburg. We are here at Truck Festival 2024. We're on a Ferris wheel and we're moving.
We're moving high up in the sky. We can see the inside.
Friday. We just got here. The sun is shining. We're having a good time.
Having a great time.
Who are you most excited to see today?
I'm excited to see Gregson-Mcleod today. I love his new album. Nice. I think he's had an amazing year, and I think his performance at Truck will be one of my highlights. What about you, Alice?
I'm really excited to see Pave.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen them before, and they just did a reunion couple of gigs last year, which I didn't make it to, so I'm really excited to finally see them.
It's going to be a great festival. We got interviews with Harvey Dodgson, we got an interview with Pave, and we got an interview with Gregson-Mcleod. So keep an eye out for those later in this vlog, and yeah, enjoy the video. Hey, it's Harry with the Student Music Network, and today I'm interviewing Harvey Dodgson. How are you doing, mate?
Very well, Harry. How are you? All right?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. We are here at Truck Festival on a somewhat sunny day in Oxfordshire, so it's going pretty well. How are you finding it so far?
Good, man. Got in nice and early, enjoying the sun, bit of footy, a couple of drinks. Yeah, what a festival should have. Yeah. Very
nice. Is this your first time at a Truck Festival?
It is, yeah, first time.
And then you're enjoying the atmosphere? You're liking it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's all you can. I like how you can stand in one place and kind of see the whole thing. It's really cool, so you can get around, find people easy. Yeah, it seems lovely.
All right, so we'll talk about your new track, Freedom, which you described as kind of overcoming weakness and finding peace of mind within yourself, which I think is a really, it's a message that resonates with us all, and it's something we all strive for. How does it sort of resonate with yourself, and how did you want to bring that out in the track?
Yeah, it was kind of getting over the struggles that, a lot of people deal with, I suppose, the mental health side of things, and just kind of, it's the left-right freedom, the kind of marching on, overcoming obstacles, and just, being able to know within yourself that you can get to the next stage where you want to be and be happy with that.
How exactly did you come about sort of writing the track and developing the sound for it?
So I wrote it with one of my best mates called Charlie Sell, and it was the first time writing together actually, and we just sat in a room. He had a little piano idea, and pretty much in a day we wrote a complete song and then go on to get it produced, and now it's out. Yeah.
What kind of sounds and bands has influenced what your sound is today?
So I've always said, like, my favourite band from a very, very young age, since I was in a car seat, was Kasabian. But I listened to a lot of kind of hip hop, a lot of soul, like you said, and a lot of like jazz and blues artists, like Billie Holiday, Nina Simone, people like that. So it's quite varied, but I feel like I'm taking my favourite bits and putting them down one lane, which is the lane that I'm travelling down now.
And as you said, the left-right freedom hook, it's repeated a lot and it's catchy. It really, it really stuck with me when I listened to it. What sort of meaning does that hook have?
It's just like the keep carrying on. Originally it was left, right, feet up, but it didn't sound like punch enough, so it thought left, right, freedom sounds good, sounds meaningful. I think that other people listening as well can put their own interpretation to it, which I like writing that way. So it's quite, all-encompassing.
Awesome. Now, with festivals as a whole, this isn't your first festival. You've been to quite a few, including Isle of Wight, live at Leeds, and even Glastonbury last year. So, yeah, how were they? And do you have any cool sort of festival memories, good or bad, that you want to share?
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, yeah, Glastonbury last year was obviously so special. Like a bucket list, I'm sure it is for most artists, and that was, a lot of people come away and it's the magic of Glastonbury, but it really is, you can't explain it. It's incredible, and it's just, it's brilliant. I love the festival atmosphere. We always try to, make the most out of it, meet as many people as we can, and that's festival season for you.
You prefer them to normal gigs?
I think you've got to, really. Yeah. Normal gig is great, but being at a festival, you can't beat it, sun, drinks, meeting new people, seeing a load of acts, and just playing at a festival, there's always something special, always sticks with you a little bit longer.
Nice. Now, you're Portsmouth raised, so you had to develop your sound, I guess from a young age. What was it like kind of finding yourself in music in a place like that?
I think I draw a lot of inspiration from, where I was brought up and raised. I was born in Portsmouth and grew up kind of in the surrounding areas, and I've moved back there now. Being by the sea, I always find writing, there's always some sort of reference to the water or the ocean or something, so I think that's had a big influence. And it's just moulded me as a person, all my friends around there, new experiences growing up. So that's all kind of coming together into my music, and that's what I write about, and that's how my sound was formed.
Apart from yourself, who are you most excited to see or hear at this year's Truck Festival?
I'm looking forward to seeing Jamie T, for the pure fact, between about 14 and 18, it was like the soundtrack of my life, and I haven't seen him before, so I think got to say Jamie T. And also on the same stage that we're playing, as this feeling stage, just before us there's a female artist called Ruby J as well, I've seen once before, and yeah, really sick musician, very like soulful, so hopefully I'll be able to catch her beforehand as well.
Now, we move on to a couple of stupid questions. The 3 headlines: Jamie T, Wet Leg, and The Streets. Kiss, marry, avoid.
Kiss, marry, avoid. Well, okay, well, kiss, you know what, we'll kiss Jamie T. We'll kiss Jamie
Why is that?
Because he's a legend, man. I feel like it'll be funny. I feel like after a couple of beers, getting on well, give him a kiss, you know what I mean? I feel like Mike Skinner from The Streets would be just funny to be in a company of it. So let's marry Mike Skinner, and for sakes, you know, we'll avoid Wet Leg, but no dissing to any of them.
Fair enough. Good answer. That reaches the end of our interview. So I've been chatting with Harvey. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we're excited to see your set. It's Harry again with the Student Music Network, and it is very loud because New Dad are playing, but I am honoured to be joined by Alanya and Kevin from Pave. So we're here at Truck, one of the biggest indie festivals in the country. How are you feeling?
Excited. Yeah, no, we're really buzzing for it. We go on stage soon, the crowd's loud.
Stage at 7 o'clock, can't wait for it. This feeling 10.
Amazing, we'll be there. What can we expect from your show?
Loud, yeah.
Energy, yeah.
Energy, loud energy. Yeah, we want the crowd to come with some energy for us, for sure.
Hopefully they will. That's what everyone's here for. So let's talk about some of your singles, because you've had a busy year this year. We'll start off with 1950, which was my personal favourite because I love the kind of the gothic and the shoegaze influenced combination. It made a really cool listening experience. So what kind of vibe did you want to bring to the song, and what was the sort of creative process behind bringing it to life?
Oh, Kevin's your man for this.
Oh, well, 1950, like the sound is definitely shoegaze inspired, very like My Bloody Valentine, them nice airy guitars, but we also wanted to keep like our heaviness and also our sort of tone and our kind of psyche behind how we write songs.
You know, that was a great single, but it's not the only one you've had this year. You've also had The End of Us, which was a bit different to that because, as you said, it was loud, very loud in all the best ways, very kind of urgent, heavy metal-y, but also kept that shoegaze vibe. What was the story behind that track?
So I think that track for us was sort of, we wanted to find our rock backgrounds. Obviously with like 1950, that's sort of our shoegaze background. We're trying to go into that rock genre, and we want to show people that we're a rock band. And that was the one song where we were like, we want to bring the energy with this song, and it's our sort of fight song, and it's just that song about sort of, if anyone's trying to tell you that you can't do something, that's a song to be like, we're doing it, we are doing this.
Obviously, you formed in Manchester, which is a titan of English music, you know, Stone Roses, Oasis, to name a couple of them, and, you know, they're different from your vibe, but it put Manchester on the map. What was it like discovering your sort of heavy metal rock shoegaze sound there? What was it like sort of forming your sound?
I think that's something that we're kind of still going through in Manchester. It's still very indie based, and I think that's why with this record that we're kind of in the midst of releasing at the moment, we wanted to show that Manchester can produce good metal music. We wanted to showcase ourselves as one of the rock bands that can bring that to Manchester, because it's, you constantly put on stage with other indie bands, and especially sort of like being female fronted, we want to be able to be like, we're not just another indie band that are trying to play some soft songs. Like we're here to be a rock band.
Well, yeah, you're here to start a revolution in Manchester. We'll see you on all the billboards in Manchester very soon. But we're here in Truck. Manchester is a long way away. So I was just wondering, out of all of the bands, artists, apart from yourselves, who are you excited to see? Who are you excited to hear?
I'm absolutely buzzing for Peace, who are on in about half an hour. They're one of my all-time favourite bands, so Peace. And then on Sunday, I think the Amazons. I've wanted to see them for so long. We were really inspired by them in our sort of early rock days. So it's going to be exciting to see them.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be soft play.
Yeah.
Soft play. I'll be right there. Mosh pits right in the centre. Get it in.
On to our final question, bit of a stupid one. Jamie T, Wet Leg and The Streets, headliners. Kiss, marry, avoid.
Oh, okay. The Streets, I'd marry him because I think he could bring the banter.
Second that. Married.
Yeah.
Mike Skinner.
We'll kiss Jamie T. It could be a good night out. And then Wet Leg, I'd probably have to avoid Wet Leg, unfortunately.
I definitely would marry Mike Skinner. Have him
Yeah.
around the house. Definitely. He'd have some interesting stories from the streets. He'd be getting a party going in your kitchen a Sunday at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a boring marriage, that's for sure. Hello again, it's Harry for the Student Music Network, and today I'm so lucky to be joined by the amazing
Katie Gregson-Mcleod.
How are you doing today? Are you doing alright?
I'm good, just came off stage, so I'm very warm, but excited. I'm having a good time, yeah.
How was your set?
It was really fun. It was super chill. I didn't feel nervous, just like the crowd support was lovely, and yeah, as I said, just came off stage and I don't feel weird and panicked yet, so it's a good sign. It's only going well so far.
Alright, so we'll go straight into your music. You released an EP last year, Big Red EP, and it's got a cool like indie acoustic-y synthy vibe going throughout. It flows really nicely as an EP. What was kind of the story and the vibe behind the EP? What did you want to bring through for listeners?
It was very much like a moment in time, and I wanted to capture that in the writing and the themes. It's all about one relationship, and so it kind of felt to me like it would be its own self-contained thing. And it's also quite different sonically from what I was doing before it and what I'm doing now. It's its own thing, which is kind of nice and quite fun to just like have a bit of time rocking out. And now I'm kind of making new music which is quite different, but because of like not only the thematic but the sonic kind of identity of that, it's just its own little footprint, which is fun. Yeah.
And your first single from that, Your Ex, it's got quite dark and somber lyricism, I would say, but I think the instrumentation's kind of funky and kind of fun, which I thought was a really interesting contrast. What was the thought process behind that?
To be honest, like that song didn't feel like, I got some songs that I sing on stage and I'm like, I feel this is like rude to say this because it's like just gonna kill the vibe, like, you know what I mean? I've got some really dark songs, but that one I feel like I wrote that as a bit of a joke.
Okay.
Like I wrote that as because like I don't know if anyone's heard it, but the song is like about the person that I'm dating being friends with their ex, and it was just me like it's basically a song about me like spiraling and how it's ridiculous, but it all just started as a piss take and then it went too far and then I made a song and then it's all happened.
And you said you mentioned earlier how it is quite a difference to earlier stuff and you're kind of advancing your sound and shifting to your earlier work. So I guess what was the motivation behind shifting? How are you developing your sound even more?
I feel like the music I'm making right now, as in like stuff that's just about to come out, feels the most me of anything that I've ever released, and nothing's out yet but it'll be out very soon. And it's nice because like I released a song called Complex which kind of like I get a little bit of pressure to the next project. Yeah, I think that like it's just kind of growing up through music. I feel like you're never gonna land on your exact sound in the first single, and if you do then send me the recipe, but for me like it's taken a long time, and my career has had like some really crazy moments the last few years, and trying to hinge on a creative identity while all that's happening is hard.
Brilliant answer. Now you mentioned your song Complex, which gained a lot of traction and resonated a lot with fans. You even called yourself a Scottish one-hit wonder aiming for two, which I thought was quite modest but also quite funny. But you said that it kind of has added pressure. Is that how you sort of have reacted to the traction on that song?
I never had that in mind when I was making any music after Complex. I never had like the knowledge that I now have an audience, but it's somewhere in there subconsciously. I think it was more pressure to kind of put that next foot forward and to show people, this is who I am. Yeah, I feel like the main thing with having Complex do what it did was that I was able to garner an audience that has stuck with me, and I know that they kind of like follow along with that evolution that I was talking about earlier. And yeah, I'm just always going to be like, you know, this big spike that then drops off a bit. But honestly, like when it dropped off and I had that kind of core group of fans that was stuck with me, it was the best feeling. So pressure in one way, but also great relief in the other, you know.
Now, we'll leave it with one last question, and it's a bit of a silly one. We've asked all of our interviewees. So, the headliners, Jamie T, Wet Leg, and The Streets. Kiss, marry, avoid.
Ah. I'm gonna marry Wet Leg.
Nice.
I'm gonna... Wait, it's not kill, is it? It's avoid.
Avoid, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to the
We're PG, we're PG.
And I'm gonna... What was the other one? Marry Wet Leg, kiss Jamie T.
Yeah, Jamie T.
Yeah.
Awesome.
R.I.P. to... No, it's not R.I.P. It's fine. There's avoid. No one's dead.
You've ghosted the streets. You've ghosted the streets.
People trying to murder people. Sorry to the streets. Rest in peace.
If the streets get murdered, we know who did it. All right, and you know that rounds up the end of the interview. So Katie, thank you so much for speaking with me. Really appreciate it, and enjoy Yorkshire. Yeah.
It's day 2. We are sat in the press tent of the main stage, just by the main stage. It's very sunny already. Saturday's going to be hot.
We're cooking.
How did you find Friday?
Friday was great. I absolutely loved it. Got some great acts on there. Gregson-Mcleod was my favourite.
So good.
He was who I was most excited to see, and he did not disappoint.
Yeah.
Jamie T was also great, which surprised me because I didn't really know him, and then I realised I knew like 3 of his songs. So I think it was great. Who did you enjoy the most?
Declan. It's got to be Declan. We interviewed Harvey Dodgson earlier that day, and then I saw him in the mosh pit for British Bombs. So
Got to be done. It's the best
yeah,
way
I
for it.
waved. I was like, hello. Who are you most excited to see today?
Well, we got a few good ones today. I think SOFY Ellis-Bextor is top of my list.
Oh yeah.
Just because of the whole Saltburn craze has got me a bit obsessed, and I loved her from when I was a kid anyway. So my parents will be very jealous. And then obviously Wet Leg.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's got to be the Magic Gang. It's got to be the Magic Gang. I've seen them before, but this is, I think, their last ever festival circuit before they're gone forever. So I won't miss it. I can't miss it.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Magic Gang. But yeah, we've got a good day today. We've got an interview with SOFY and hopefully Lime Garden. So
We'll see.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. See ya.
I've just seen Mr. Motivator, feeling very motivated. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Hello, it is day 2 of Truck Festival, a lovely sunny Saturday, and I am so lucky to be joined by Lime Garden. How are you guys doing today?
We're great, thanks. Yeah, all good.
Good stuff, good stuff. I saw the half of your set that you played. We're going to go see your full set later. What can we expect?
A lot more.
A fun little cover, actually.
Yeah, a fun cover, something not many people have seen before.
No.
And I feel like because it's 8 p.m, it's going to be a bit, I don't know, it's going to be a bit sillier maybe. It'll be good fun.
Brilliant. So let's talk about, your recent album, One More Thing, which you released earlier this year after, 4 years of putting stuff out there on the streaming platforms. And I loved it. I listened to it last night before I went to sleep, and I extended my bedtime so I could listen to it again. That's actually true. I loved it so much. It's got a cool indie vibe with electro stuff going on in there. It was just, it was great. What was kind of the creative process behind it?
Well, I mean, it was like 3 years in the making, right? I think it's crazy because some songs on that record are like we wrote 2 weeks before we went in to record, and some songs we've been playing live for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's a real collection of basically like our works up till this point, and I feel like you can hear that through the record. So yeah.
And we'll talk about your first single, Nepotism brackets Baby, which is a great title, and it talks about that like stereotypical popular perfect it girl. at school that, you know, everyone pretended to love, but secretly kind of resented. So, you know, was that the kind of story? Did you draw from personal experiences when you were writing that one?
Oh my God, definitely. I mean, we were all losers in school, so I feel like we definitely drawed from that. And it was a real easy one. Like, I was in my room just messing about, and it took about 30 minutes to write that song. And we didn't think it would even end up on the album, but it just ended up working, right?
Yeah, it feels good to have like a bit of a cheeky, like 2-minute, like stupid sort of sarky song on there. Yeah,
definitely.
It was a great one to sort of introduce the whole album to. It got people hooked. And sort of later down the line, you released I Want to Be You, not to be confused with the classic Cure song. And, you know, yeah, it was great. It's another great track. And it's got a cool music video to it as well. It's got like montage-y segments going on. What was the story behind the music video, and what was it like filming it?
I think like it was the lyrics, the bit that Sal kind of honed in on was like the feeling of like wanting, I reference this song back to like seeing a band and wanting to be them so bad, but you don't know if you want to be with them or if you want to be them, and kind of like when you want to be someone so bad that you want to just like get inside their skin and just like be them. And Sal kind of honed in on that aspect of it, so that's why you have the whole like caving in of the chest scene and diving into the body and things like that. And we didn't even really explain to him the lyrics.
No,
he just kind of got that right, like straight away. So that was kind of the aspect that he honed in on, which was perfect, I thought. Right.
Now, away from the album, I have to talk about where you're from, Brighton. As a Brighton resident myself, this is an extra special interview for me because I can vouch that it's the best city in the country. So, you know, you guys talk a lot about how you're from Brighton, you've got a big following there. Do you kind of consider Brighton as part of your identity as a band?
Definitely, yeah. I think, like, I don't think we'd be where we are without Brighton. I think, you know, it has a very welcoming music scene and everyone kind of supports each other. And I think when you're young and starting out in a band, you need that. Like, it's like we'd go to London for gigs and stuff, and don't get me wrong, London has some of the best bands in the world come out of it, but it's very competitive and it's a lot more hard graft.
Brighton
I think
gives you like the chance to like find your thing, play all the small venues, and like you get such a good like community around you like straight away, and then they support you like through everything you do, you know?
It's a very welcoming atmosphere. It's why I love it so much as well. What sort of venues are your favourites? Because I've probably been to, you know, every single one of them.
Yeah, Green Door Store has to be a favourite of ours, of course. It's an amazing, it's like, it feels like over the last couple of years as well, it's a real like hub for community, and it feels like there's something cool going on there, and I don't know, whenever you're there, even if you don't know what's going on, there's a cool band playing that you don't know about, and it feels like there's something happening there. So I think that's a massive one for us, right?
And I think Prince Albert as well is like a great venue. Unfortunately, it's like at risk of closing now, but it's like it's such a good small venue, and the bar's great, and everyone who works there's lovely. So
Brilliant, good choices. I would have chosen the exact same thing. What sort of, you know, you've got a very distinctive kind of sound and also look, quite inspired sort of by 80s alternative stuff. Who would you say kind of inspired your sound and look?
Well, I guess sound and look are very different. I think for the sound, it's an evolving thing. I think it changes monthly, I would say, but like the pinnacles of what we've always kind of wanted to do is like Talking Heads, LCD sound system, things like that. And then looks wise, I feel like we've only come into our own very recently with that, because we grew up in this band and we were figuring out who we were as people, let alone a band. So I think we've only recently kind of honed in on what we want to do there.
We've had some questions. We were talking about it this morning. We've had some questionable outfit choices over the years.
Like we'll look back on photo shoots and be like, why did I choose to wear that? So I feel like we've got it down now, and I guess inspiration wise for that, I don't know,
I think it's just like being sort of like comfortable and casual, and not necessarily leaning into the like femme thing too much.
I think like as a girl band, there's not many girl bands out there that are representing girls who maybe like don't want to wear dresses all the time, or like who aren't that girly. Like we're not really as a whole. So I think that's something that a side of music that we want to represent.
Nice one, awesome. So yeah, we're far away from Brighton here in Oxfordshire. So apart from yourselves, who are you excited to see or hear at the festival?
Oh, good question.
Wet Leg.
Yeah, of course.
Always, they're great.
Yeah, we played with them like 2 years ago before Chaise Long blew up in Bermondsey Social Club to about 200 people. And the week after they released Chaise Long, and obviously they just became superstars. So it'll be very cool to reunite with those guys later. That'll be sick. And then a Yard Act are playing as well. We love those guys. We went on tour with them, and Folly Group just played. They're the best. Anything at the So Young stage, to be honest, will be premium taste, so go there.
Good choices. All right, so we'll lead it on to sort of the final question, and we've asked all of our interviewees this one because it's a bit stupid. So we got Jamie T, Wet Leg, and The Streets. Out of those three, who would you kiss, marry, and avoid?
I would avoid The Streets.
Yeah, same. We're not the biggest fans.
Seem pretty certain of that.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think I would marry Wet Leg.
Me too, yeah.
And I'd snog Jamie T.
Yeah. Agreed.
Easily, yeah. Sounds good.
Jamie T would be up for a good night out. Yeah, I would.
Jamie, if you're watching, come hit me up.
If you're watching, Jamie, hit up Lime Garden, pretty please. All right, awesome. So that brings the end of my interview with Lime Garden. Best of luck later. I can't wait for your set. It's going to be amazing. Signing off. I'm joined with Sophie. How are you doing today, Sophie?
I'm great.
How do you find, the whole truck festival? How did you find your set?
Yeah, it was like probably the highlight of my whole life so far. So yeah, it was good.
You got a great crowd there as well. You really got them going. Do you think it was a decent crowd for you today?
Yes. I was very, very, very pleased with how many people came. Thank you for coming if you came.
Oh, we did. It was a great set. We really enjoyed it. I was really surprised because you debuted a new single? Was that Be Mine?
Mine, yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really, really fun. Was that the first time you had played it at a festival?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you happy with the reception?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Nice. We'll hear it a lot more in future, I'm sure.
You won't be able to get away from it.
And the other day you released Together, which has instantly resonated with fans. I'm pretty sure I can say everyone was singing along to it. What was the story behind that track?
It's about like spending all your time with someone but then wanting more from the relationship, but then like being a little bit too scared to take it out of the friend zone, so you just like
Fair enough. And in the music video, I quite enjoyed it. It was you and then a big bunny throughout the whole music video. Did the bunny have a sort of relevance? What did the bunny represent?
So I don't know if any of you watching played Sims 2 as a kid, but The Sims 2 has like this character called the social bunny that comes when your sim is lonely. So that was sort of like a play on like being with someone all the time but not like feeling fulfilled in the relationship. So like being alone in like a room full of people and wanting more from it. So yeah, that's what that was about.
Amazing. Love the Sims reference as well. So this has been, I believe, your first release since your EP Chaos and Commotion last year. How have you found the response to that EP?
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Like really great to like see as many people like resonating with it and like have it on vinyl as well. Like sick. Yeah.
Amazing. What was the sort of creative process behind that EP? What did you sort of want to bring to it?
That process was sort of just like me figuring out like what I want my music to sound like. It was quite like experimental, like me like trying out a lot of different sounds and like seeing what fit. And then the new stuff that's going to come out is a lot more refined. So yeah, hopefully people like indie rock.
We love your indie rock, that's for sure. I think one of a lot of people's favourite songs, Wet Paint, on that album, that one did really, really well. What was the story behind that one?
Yeah, that song is written about the wet paint references, you know, when like something's off limits and you see a sign that says wet paint, and it just makes you want to touch the wall even more. So it's about like temptation and yeah. Amazing.
Moving on to another one of your singles, Timothy Chalamet. I love the title for that one. What did he have with you that kind of made a track, if that makes sense?
That song's not about Timothy. That song's like just about sex, but Timothy Chalamet was a good rhyme. And like French kissing in the car, Timothy Chalamet, and then it just stuck.
Nice one, amazing. All right, so we'll talk more about the festival now. You're here at Truck. Who are you excited to see or hear at this festival?
I'm gutted that I missed Jamie T yesterday. He's my favourite, but I'm excited to see Willie J. Healy and Wet Leg.
Wet Legs are probably our favourites as well. Jamie T was brilliant, yeah, and hopefully he'll come back very soon. Do you have any sort of pre-show rituals or chants or any traditions that you do to get yourself pumped up for a show?
Me and the boys always like get together and do like a little like chant thing. It changes. At the moment it's no fighting because we're obsessed with Hips Don't Lie by Shakira.
Nice.
So yeah, it changes, but that's the current one.
That's a great one. I'm going to start using that for interviews. Now, final question of our interview. I've asked this to everyone because it's a bit of a silly one. The headliners are Jamie T, Wet Leg and The Streets. Out of those three, who would you kiss, marry and avoid?
I would kiss Wet Leg because they're hot. I would marry Jamie T because he is my idol, and I would avoid The Streets, just I think I couldn't keep up with them.
All very valid reasons. And with that, we've come to the end of our interview with SOFY. So thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Sunday afternoon. It's very hot.
Very hot.
Very hot at Truck. We are sizzling in the sun. We're trying to stay cool.
Just saw Black Honey.
Just saw Black Honey and they were amazing. I think Harry is a new fan of them.
Big time, and they're from Brighton, so that's an extra win in my book for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. They were who I was most excited to see today, so I'm very happy that we saw them. How was last night?
Last night was great. We saw Wet Leg,
yes.
And that's always as iconic as ever. They ended with Chaise Long and a big confetti cannon went off.
Yeah,
so,
that was great.
We all got covered and it was great after.
They also did a cover of 360 by Charlie XCX.
Got to be done.
Because Brat Summer. You also saw Lime Garden?
I did see Lime Garden, who also did a cover of Charlie XCX's Von Dutch.
You can't escape Brat.
No, it seems like the Brat Summer has taken over Truck, which, you know, you can't complain.
I'm here for it.
I'm just living that
life. So yeah, we've just seen Black Honey and they were my top choice of who to see today. Who are you going to see this evening?
We're going to see the Cougs.
Yes.
Because Naive is just one of those songs that I have to see.
Indie classics. What am I excited for? Seagulls, I think I'll go and see. And then yeah, the Cougs, it's got to be done. Like, I think Sunday night you just need some wholesome vibes from the Cougs.
Indie vibes.
So I'm a show Monday, I was hoping Sunday, yeah, you ain't did better.
Well, we've come to the end of our Truck weekend. Harry, how have you enjoyed your first ever festival?
This was my first ever festival, 21 years old, and I've never been to a festival.
Aww.
But I've loved it. It's been great. I've loved the vibes, I've loved the atmosphere, all the colours have kept me very stimulated in the music as well. So, you know, great time. How was your fourth time here compared to the other times?
I'm getting old. No, it was really good, really good. Much better than last year because the weather has been gorgeous this week. Yeah, last year it was raining the whole time, it was not fun. But no, it's been really good and can't wait to come back next year, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
We've loved chatting to everyone that we've been able to speak to. We're very grateful for all of that. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the interviews. And that's Alice and Harry signing off.
See you later.
Bye.